Okay, welcome back to Business Owners Speak. I'm thrilled to have with us Thais Saenz with Saenz Global. Thais, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Matt. I'm really happy to be on the show. Really
Yeah, we're,
excited.
we're excited to have you. And as we do with everybody, let's jump right in. Please tell us about you and the business.
Awesome. So my name is Thais Saenz. I am kind of crazy story here. So I was born in the Amazon jungle of Brazil. And so growing up, I was with the tribe of Chicuna Indians. And so when I was in the tribe, one of the main things that I always saw was that teamwork was part of everything, right? So then ended as life takes you on adventures, went into corporate America, had a really successful corporate career, climbing the corporate ladder, working with Fortune 500 companies. And throughout my journey, I would see the need for team, right? And administrative support. So, COVID came about and I decided I was on maternity leave right when COVID hit and I heard a podcast. Podcasts are awesome. And on the podcast, the individual said, the best thing I ever did is go virtual. And so that really stuck with me. And so COVID hit and I was on maternity leave and I said, okay, this is a time I have had 4 months of paid maternity leave. I said, okay, this is a time to either start something virtual or just kind of stay comfortable in my corporate life, right? Corporate career. Long story short, my husband's cousin who worked for Oracle was the vice president of Oracle cloud systems and one of their divisions. I gave her what I was thinking to do and she said, Tace, you need to do it. Like, just do it. So she totally believed in me and I went ahead and took the leap. So I went back to work, started building this company. 5 months later, after starting back up my corporate life, I resigned and went full-time for Saenz Global. So we are 4 years in and we have a team of over 80 team members and we get to help roofing contractors nationwide. So pretty exciting.
That's amazing. So, in your corporate career, what industry were you focused in?
Yeah, so stainless steel manufacturing. So anything for franchises like McDonald's. I used to manage all of the McDonald's accounts all over South Florida. So all of McDonald's in South Florida, our company was the ones installing all their kitchen equipments for those franchises. But we dealt with a lot of franchises, from all of them, from BK to Subway, all the stuff. But before I did South Florida, I was in charge of Latin America. So I was over all of Latin America. So I'd have to travel Caribbean, Central, South. So very adventurous.
Nice, some good travel too.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. All right, so tell us a little bit about the service and products you offer right now.
Yeah, so one of the things that we know is that roofing contractors typically are amazing salespeople. So they are really good at shaking hands, building relationships, kissing babies, like all that. However, for you to there's so much that happens behind the scenes, right? So pulling permits, scheduling inspections, COCs, like a ton of terminology that needs to happen for there to be successful execution of a roof being installed. And so that's typically the things that our roofing contractors don't enjoy doing, right? So we really believe when you are in your sphere of genius, typically you have a really happier life. And so what we support our clients with is we do all the back end for their roofing. So we do everything from beginning all the way to end so that they can really focus on selling. And then we're really focused on the back end. And together it's like a powerhouse. So we really help our roofing contractors scale from 7 to 8 figures or more.
And so is the product's more of a software plus some human capital, or how does
No,
that?
it's 100% just administrative support virtually. And so we're plugging into their systems and processes. That's one of the main things working with us. We know everything within the roofing industry. We know it. We're experts. We're certified in many of the CRM tools platforms. So we're just plugging right into their systems. So we're not asking them to change anything. We're actually going in, we're plugging in, and then we're pumping out the support. So just amplifying their bandwidth so their team can really focus on selling.
Amazing. So when you first started and you resigned from your comfortable, secure job as a new mom,
Yeah.
or maybe again as a mom, um, how did you kind of go to market and start finding not only contractors or GCs and roof contractors to become clients, but also the support team that has knowledge in the roofing industry?
Yeah, great question. So when I first started the business, I pretty much just said, are you a business owner? Are you alive and breathing? I can help you. So that's one thing I'm like very confident that I can help you. And so what I quickly realized is that I actually don't like doing the helping. I like doing the connecting. But what I'm really good at is finding the right people to do the helping. So for example, my first client was a taco company, Tacos y Antojitos. They're awesome in South Florida. And I was like, I can do your social media. I can manage it, right? I started managing it and I was like, wow, I hate this and I do not like it. So I then found a friend of mine that actually was my friend in the US, and she went back to the Argentina, is working as a flight attendant for Latin Airlines. The airlines left Argentina. And so I was like, hey, do you want to do a side gig and do some, so I'll show you everything you got to know about social media. And she's like, sure, I'm in. And so I kind of outsourced that. So kind of just consistently building the right team. So I always say good people know good people. And so our company has literally been built off of good people referring great people. And so, yeah, that's how I first started. And how did I get with roofers? So anyone that was alive and breathing. So I had a taco company, I had a pharmacy, I had windows and door installers. And then there came a roofing contractor who needed some help. And so we got connected by a mutual connection. And we were like, yeah, we can help you. Absolutely. I had no idea about anything with roofing, but I knew the right people that could figure it out. And so I think that's kind of it. Like I went to market of like selling something that wasn't built, but building it the moment it was needed, because I knew I had the right people. And so the right people in this situation was when I was in corporate America, my right hand, I was out gaining market share. And my right hand was Maria McMillan. She was actually managing all the projects. So when I left and started my company, she goes, I've always wanted to continue working with you. Can I? And I said, sure, come on in. I can't pay you anything. So you got to work for free for now. And so anyways, we killed it, crushed it, and learned all things roofing. So we learned roofing through experience of working just with roofing. And then we got one roofing, got more roofing, and we just decided to just stick with roofing only. So we know all things roofing now. Yeah.
And are you supporting roofing companies all over the country, all over internationally? Where's your client base?
So we only work with the US. And so we're supporting roofing contractors from Hawaii all the way to South Florida. So we are all through and through the nation.
Wow. And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about your team. So is your team all remote, right? All virtual? And
Yes.
is it accounting and invoicing and billing and all of that?
So we literally work like a team. So we always say we want to win the Super Bowl, we want to win the World Cup. How do you win? You bring in elite players, you play together and you work together. And so how we literally do that is when we're working with a roofing contractor, they have a designated team just to support their needs. And so they have a client success manager, that individual, they can FaceTime, text message, call, all that stuff. And then their team that's pumping out the work, right? And we're not virtual assistants at all. That's not what we are. We're not VAs. We are really just full on back office machine. And so when we're working with contractors, we learn the skeleton in the roofing industry is very similar. It does not change, right? It doesn't matter if you're doing 1 million or you're doing 100 million, it is literally practically the same. But what changes completely is the DNA of the company. And so our job is to learn your DNA. How do you like things done, right? So we really eliminate that factor from the roofing contractor to how to teach us how to use the system, or what should we do here, or what's best practices. We know it all. We're experts. We just need to learn their DNA and their style. And so the team comes and we pump out the work using technology. So though people are remote, they're working as a team. So it's not, oh, you get a dedicated accountant or you get a dedicated this, because we're not VAs. You get a dedicated team that pumps out the support. And behind the scenes, there's a lot of accountability where they're working together. So you got to own what you do, or you break the team down. And so there's this kind of accountability internally with the team, because we want to succeed. We want to crush it. We want to win. And so we win together.
And a business like that, you have to be able to have a value proposition, right? To the owners or who's ever running these businesses. And where do you find most of your value comes in, to either save them money or give them time back to where they can go sell more roofs and whatnot? Is that really where you see most of your value in their business?
Yeah, so we love case studies. So case studies is we're doing like I'll give you one of our 9-month case study. We were actually able to save them they had a ton of AR. So we were able to bring in over $1 million back. Also, they had a ton of opportunities that were just there. So sales reps leave, and then there's opportunities that are still on the table and that they haven't really followed up with. So we were able to bring in $500,000 just from follow-ups, just like
So you'll
calling.
jump in the sales seat as well.
Like we'll like go ahead and do follow-ups, right? Like, hey, we are, and when we're calling, we're our clients. We're not Saenz Global. We are them, right? So hey, just want to follow, we're getting the clients on the roofs. We're also able to save them hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours on training. So with our roofing contractors, they never have to pause. So let's say they go from 5 million to 20 million. On that whole journey, they're never pausing to train anyone to do administration, because we, at a drop of a hat, can add the resources needed. And we already know that the resource is going to be needed because we're pulling KPIs, we're doing all that. In regards to the value add to the client, is we're saving them time, yes, for them to go out and sell and make more money, but we're also going and seeing the opportunities that are still left that they can still touch, right? And so, for example, accountability with sales reps, leads are money, and we're huge on accountability. So we're following up with the sales reps and like, hey, what's the status? How's this going? And then we can escalate it to the owners if they want us to escalate it, etc. However it needs, so that the leads actually get touched.
Sure.
We're helping them in all aspects. So it's make money, save time, save money, and so much more.
You're like a white label super team that you can just come in and knock it out. That's great. So for you these days, what is your role within the business?
Yeah, so I'm CEO but really sales. That's the thing I love the most. I always say when I started the company, I just would always read the books that would tell us, when you start a company, just hire people that are way more intelligent than you, give them the resources and let them do their magic. And so that's really what we've built. The people on our team are so much more intelligent than I am. Seriously, they're fantastic. And what I just do is what I'm good at. And what I'm good at is I love connecting. So connecting with people, connecting with sales, closing sales, that's really where I'm helping our team. But the rest, our operations team, our COOs, directors, everyone, they're fantastic. And they got this down pretty awesome.
So as you've grown within the roofing industry, and it's always good to niche down a little bit, right? I'm kind of thinking about what the future is for Saenz Global. Are you pretty satisfied with this industry and you're just going to run this as hard as you can, or do you think you may move into some other areas down the road?
Yeah, so that's a question that I get asked often. I think right now we are really focused on roofing. However, we actually have an HVAC client that's been with us for the past 3 years in South Florida. So HVAC when it comes to commercial. So they're really, really happy. We really love working with them. And I think that's definitely the next avenue that we're going to be tapping into is HVAC. But right now we just want to be the best at what we do, really be an expert at what we offer. So roofing is our thing. So we'll continue with that. We really want to finish the year continuously strong for 2024, and then really see where HVAC and roofing maybe come together for 2025.
Sure. Amazing. And I'm curious, for you in your sales role, are you traveling a lot? Are you flying around the country meeting with potential clients, or do we do most of it this way?
Yeah, so everything is via Zoom. Just it works out great. Clients, because that's the whole thing, right? Even onboarding with our new clients, we do Zoom because we're using AI technology that's dictating what's being said. We're recording it. We're building out standard operating procedures. So very Zoom is the thing. But I do have to say, I did go down to South Florida 2 weeks ago. I live in South Florida, but I did go visit one of the clients there in person, which I typically don't do. So that does happen once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And through your journey, especially, it's interesting going from, high level corporate America to all of a sudden you're sitting in front of a laptop, starting a business without a lot of people around you, right? Trying to fight their way forward. So I'm curious if you could offer some words of wisdom to other business owners that were maybe you a few years ago, just trying to find those first couple of clients, or maybe running into some obstacles that they're not sure how to get around. What's some advice you'd give?
Yeah, so I would say the best thing you could do is surround yourself with wisdom. So like really big on surrounding yourself with consultants, coaches, even at the beginning, right? Like put Like if you can, like I'd be like, I need to do 10 sales so I can hire this so-and-so to help, and they just really help you get where you need to go a lot faster. So that's so huge. And then another thing is just keep going, like do it scared, because this whole thing is scary at times. So it's just constantly doing it scared. When I first started, I was just doing cold calls. I would get rejected like 100 times a day, until we finally, would get one and, get another. But it came with some tears, a lot of sweat, a lot of like, what the heck did I just do? I left a really great corporate career for this, but definitely well worth it. So it's scary, do it scared, right? And it's keep going. It's worth it if this is what you feel called to do.
So I've done 3 interviews today, and that question, all 3 owners or entrepreneurs said the exact same thing. Just keep going, because there's nothing easy. It's all scary, and you just don't know when that break is right around the corner, right? So just keep fighting. Words to
100%.
live by. Words to live by. Well, Thais Saenz, really interesting business, and I can see why you're good at the sales side. That relationship building piece is so important in any industry. So good for you for what you've built, and best of luck moving forward. The business is Saenz Global. Thank you so much for taking time with us today.
Thanks so much, Matt. I really appreciate it.
You
See
bet.
ya.